was wrong with that one kid at the playground? I walked over, worried, to a little boy on the swings who hadn't moved in about 20 minutes. I asked if he was okay. Nothing. The only thing that happened was blood started dripping from his nose, so I called 911. I take my son Matthew to the playground every day. Not the nice one in our neighborhood, but the one a few blocks over in the rougher part of town. Honestly, I kind of like going there. Matthew shows up in clean clothes, on his little safety leash. He's hyper, would totally run into traffic otherwise. And it's obvious how different we are from the other kids running wild, dirty, no supervision. That day, I sat on the bench while Matthew dug tunnels in the sandbox. That's when I noticed him. A boy, maybe 6 years old, sitting on the swing. But he wasn't swinging, wasn't talking, wasn't reacting to anything, just sitting there like a statue. At first, I figured he was just lost in thought, but 5 minutes went by. Then 10. Other kids came over wanting to swing, and he didn't even look at them. No movement, no emotion. It was like he wasn't really there. After 20 minutes, I started to worry. Where were his parents? No one seemed to be watching him. After 30 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. I got up and walked over. "Hey buddy, are you all right?" I asked gently. He looked at me. His eyes were wet, like he'd been crying, but now they were just empty. Not a word. And then his nose started bleeding. My stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and called 911. I told Matthew to stay put in the sandbox while I stood by the boy. He was completely indifferent. Didn't move, didn't flinch, didn't seem to care about anything happening around him. When the ambulance showed up, one of the paramedics was my cousin. I explained what was going on, pointed to the boy. My cousin gave him a quick look and muttered, "Yep, just like I thought. I know this kid. We really need to take care of him properly this time." I asked what he meant, but he wouldn't say more. Just kept that sad look in his eyes while they loaded the boy into the ambulance. I couldn't just leave it. I felt strangely responsible, so I followed them. At the hospital, I lied and said I was his mom. I know it was wrong, but otherwise they wouldn't have let me in. Because of that lie, I got to walk into his room. He was lying there stiff, staring at the ceiling like he wasn't even present. I glanced at the chart clipped to the bed. My stomach turned cold. In bold letters it read, "Referred for psychiatric treatment. Transfer to children's facility." I couldn't believe it. He was just a kid, 6 years old. A few days later, my cousin finally told me the truth. That little boy had lost his entire family in a car crash days earlier. His mom, dad, siblings, all gone. He was the only survivor. And the police, they hadn't arranged any care for him. No grandparents, no relatives, nobody. So he went back to his empty apartment and lived there alone. Alone. 6 years old. Can you even imagine? That's why he spent all day at the playground. He didn't want to be in the house, surrounded by memories. That's why he didn't respond to the other kids, to me, even to the medics. He was trapped inside his trauma, drowning in it. And the nosebleed, not an injury or illness, just exhaustion. His little body shutting down because he hadn't slept in days. Now he's in a children's psychiatric facility. They're trying to help him, to pull him back out of that state. I don't know how long it will take, but I can't stop thinking about him. About the way he sat on that swing, stiff and silent, like life had already left him. About how everyone just walked by until finally I was the one who stepped in. And I know this might sound strange, but I'm waiting for the day they release him because I want to adopt